Hi guys, it's Mrs. Boland. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and do a quick video and maybe go over some vocabulary that I assigned this week and read your story to you. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go through this fairly quickly so you don't have to stay on here for a long time and watch this. We're going to go through the vocabulary really quick. So the first one is communicated. A person who communicated with others, passed along feelings, thoughts, or information to them. Maura and her friends communicated by writing emails to each other. So communicated. Talking to your friends, you're communicating. When you talk to your parents, you're communicating. If you put a letter in the mail, you're communicating. If you text a friend, you're communicating. So communicated. The ED makes that past tense, so remember that. Essential, the next word. Something essential is very important or necessary. A toothbrush is an essential tool for cleaning teeth. So essential. What would be essential for school? What would be essential for school? A pencil, a pen, some paper, a notebook. It would be essential that you're organized. Okay, the next one, this should be an easy one for all of you, is goal. A goal is something that a person wants and tries to get or become. Nick reached his goal and learned to swim. So goal. So what is a goal that you would have for next year? Maybe, well, a goal for all of us is going to be to learn to do more on the computer and online because we will be doing some of our teaching maybe from home this year. The next word is motivated. Motivated. A person who is motivated has a reason for doing something. Jerry was motivated to learn to play his guitar, so he practiced every day. So when you're motivated, what is something you might be motivated to do? Some of you play sports and you might be motivated to practice so you do better. You might want to learn how to do something, so you'd be motivated to take lessons. You might be motivated to be a better reader, so you would read more often. Okay, the next one is professional. A professional job requires special education. So Ted works as a professional police officer. So where might you find a professional? Where would you find a professional? Let's see. Your teachers would be professionals. Your parents would be professionals, depending on what they do. Maybe they're professional hair cutters, or maybe they're managers somewhere. They would be a professional. Okay, the next word is going to be research. Research is careful study to find and learn facts. So Melanie's mom is a scientist, and she uses a microscope to do research. So if you could research an animal, what would it be? I think if I could research an animal, I would research a kangaroo. I've always wanted to go to Australia. Okay, serious is the next word. Serious. When something is serious, it's important. Winnie pays attention because she is serious about getting good grades. So serious. And the last word is specialist. A specialist knows a great deal about something. Dr. Morrison is a specialist in sports medicine. Where else might you find a specialist? Maybe your doctor or your dentist would be a specialist, or if you have to go in and get teeth pulled, you might have to go to a specialist to do that. Specialists. Okay, so your story that I gave you for this week was called Rocketing into Space. And I was going, so this is a biography. I'm not sure if you remember what a biography is, but a biography is a story about somebody's life that's written by somebody else. So an autobiography is a story about someone's life that is written by that person. So this is a biography. So somebody wrote this story about them. Okay, I'm going to read. I'm going to use my finger as a guide because it just helps me stay on track. If you want to get out your packet and read with me, you certainly can. When James A. Lowell Jr. was a boy, he loved to build rockets and launch them into the sky. But his dreams went a lot further than his rockets. Like many boys who grew up in the 1930s, Lowell dreamed of being a pilot. As he watched his rocket soar, he knew someday he would too. High-flying dreams. So what text feature is that? What text feature would that be? That would be a heading or a subtitle. Lowell was born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1928. He worked hard in school and planned to go to a special college to study astronomy and rockets. Unfortunately, he didn't have enough money to attend. Lowell had to figure out another way to reach his goal. Lowell was motivated to find a way to fly rockets. So he went to college near his home for 2 years and then signed up for flight training at the United States Naval Academy. After 4 years at the academy, Lowell joined the United States Navy and became a professional naval test pilot. His job was to fly planes before anyone else was allowed to fly them. Okay, there also is a picture here, and this down at the bottom tells more information about the picture. What do we call that? What text feature is that? That's going to be a caption. James A. Lowell Jr. became an astronaut in 1962. He flew 4 space missions. Okay, I'm on the next page. Pilot to astronaut. As a pilot, Lowell spent more than half of his flying time in jets. He taught other pilots how to fly. He also worked as a specialist in air flight safety. Soon the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, put out a call for astronauts. Lowell applied for the job because he had all the essential skills needed to fly into space. As a result, NASA chose him. By 1962, James Lowell was an astronaut. He had finally reached his goal. Big challenges. That is another heading or subtitle. Lowell flew on 3 space missions, and then in April 1970, he became commander of the Apollo 13 mission. This was a big responsibility and a great honor. This was also one of the biggest challenges of Lowell's life. Apollo 13 was supposed to land on the moon. 2 days after leaving Earth, however, the spacecraft had a serious problem. One of its oxygen tanks exploded. The crew did not have enough power or air to breathe. They could not make it to the moon. Lowell communicated with the experts at NASA. No one knew what to do at first. Then the team on the ground did some research and came up with a solution. The astronauts followed the team's directions and built an invention using plastic bags, cardboard, and tape. It worked. It cleaned the air in the spacecraft. But the next problem was even bigger. How are the astronauts going to get back to Earth? Okay, and then there is another picture at the bottom with writing under it. So again, that's a caption. And it says, NASA's team works to solve Apollo 13's problems. Okay, then the comprehension strategy this week is to reread. So when you don't know what an answer is or you don't remember what you read, you need to go back and reread. Rereading is a really good strategy for you to make a habit out of doing anyways, because we always need to read something more than once. So I'm going to read this page. Stop and think about the text as you read. Are there new facts and ideas? Do they make sense? Reread to make sure you understand. Do you understand what James A. Lowell Jr. did to become a pilot? Reread High Flying Dreams on page 435. I reread that James Lovell went to college and then to the United States Naval Academy. He signed up for flight training and became a professional naval test pilot. James Lovell became a pilot by going to school. He never gave up. And then there's a your turn at the bottom. And then this is the comprehension skill that we're looking at this week. This is something that you guys have done all year. It's problems and solutions. So when you have a problem, you have to find solutions or what could possibly be a solution. So some informational texts describe a problem. Tell the steps taken to solve the problem and give the solution. Signal words such as problem, solution, solve, and as a result show there is a problem and the steps to a solution. Find text evidence. James Lowell wanted to fly rockets but didn't have enough money. Was able to fly his rocket ships. So what I asked you to do is your turn right here, and it says reread big challenges. What was James Lovell's problem on Apollo 13? Find the steps he took and solve it and write. I want you to go back to the heading where it says big challenges. That's why they have headings. So you'll go back to this page and you'll read here and continue down to here. And then you will fill out the graphic organizer. And then you can either take a picture and have your parents upload it to Dojo or just do it in the packet and return it to me on Tuesday. Then this is pretty easy. You're going to use a word from the box to answer each question, then use the word in a sentence. So this is going to be your vocabulary again. If you need to go back and rewatch this video and to go over the vocabulary that I went over with you, then you can do that. So you're going to write the word in a sentence. So what word might be, number one, what word might describe someone who does a job for money? So I'll tell you that one. That one's going to be a professional. And then you can put it in a sentence of your own. That one's kind of confusing with number 4. So the two that are going to be confusing is number 4 says what word might describe someone who is an expert. So you think professional, but it's not actual professional. It's going to be a specialist. So they're an expert in that particular area. So that is, and then I believe there is a crossword at the end of the packet. That's just for you to do for fun. This is our 3rd week. We have one more week of summer school. Yay. And then we are done. So you will bring your stuff back on Tuesday. Remember to check Dojo. We have office hours that you can ask any questions you have. You can get on and talk to us live, or you can even video with us. If you have questions, your mom or dad can slide them in Dojo, and we will respond to that as soon as we get them. So one more week, and then we're done. So make sure you come back on Tuesday when you pick up your lunches and your art project and drop off your work and get your new work for the week, and a little treat for the end of summer school. Thanks, guys.